Hello students, welcome to the Accountancy Point where we study the various accounting concepts for class 11 and 12. Today I have brought a topic for class 11 which is cash and accrual system of accounting. This is video number 6 and this is the beginning of the accounting part. Till now all the videos which I brought for you all were all related to the theoretical aspects. Now from now onwards we are going to solve the sums of accountancy, and which are, although this is also based on the basic concepts of accounting. So first of all let us understand these two systems and then take an example. Children, the first concept which we are going to follow is the cash basis of accounting. As the name suggests, cash basis of accounting means, according to this accounting system, whenever cash is received or paid, they are recorded in the books of accounts. So that means all the transactions which are only related to cash, if there is a revenue, if there is an income, if the money is received by the business, then only it will be recorded in the books of accounts. If it is not yet received, it will be received in future, those things will not be considered, although they may be related to the current accounting year. Similarly, the expenses which are to be paid will not be taken into consideration. Only the expenses which you have actually spent or paid in the accounting year will be considered for the basis or as the basis of recording the transactions. That means any credit transactions like credit purchase, credit sales, and outstanding expenses and accrued income. Children, outstanding expenses means the expenses which are related to the current year, which you had to pay but you have not yet paid. You will pay them in future. Those expenses are called outstanding expenses. Similarly, accrued income. Accrued means something which is due, means you had to receive but you have not yet received. Like the rent of the month of February and March, you had to receive but you have not yet received. So any income which is related to one accounting year which you had to receive but you have not received in that particular accounting year, as per the cash basis of accounting, they will not be recorded in the books of accounts. So they are called accrued incomes. So they are not taken into consideration. There are certain advantages. It is very simple because there are no adjustments. It is more objective in nature because you don't have to bother about too many critical things in this particular concept. Easy and convenient for small firms, mostly the small firms who maintain their books of accounts on cash, or mostly those who do their business entirely on cash basis. There is hardly any credit transaction. So for them, this is the best method for accounting. Disadvantages: it does not give a true or fair view of profit or loss, because there may be certain expense which may be related to the current accounting year, but if you have not paid, you are not taking into account. So that will not give you the true profit or loss of the current accounting year. It does not follow the matching principle. If you remember, matching principle was studied in the video number 4. Okay, so if you have not gone through the video number 4, please go through. The link is shared in the description column below. Matching principle means where we match the expenses of a particular accounting year with the income of that particular accounting year or revenue of that particular accounting year. This system does not distinguish between capital and revenue expenditure. Children, capital expenditure are those expenditures which are spent on acquiring or buying some fixed assets like land, building, plant and machinery, and the benefit of such expenditure is enjoyed over a long period of time, many years. But revenue expenditure are those expenditures the benefit of which will be exhausted within the same accounting period, like the amount which you spend for buying raw materials, the amount which you spend for paying salary to your staff. So they are all your revenue expenditure. So this particular cash basis of accounting does not distinguish between these two types of expenditures. Now let us take a small example to understand the concept of cash basis, and then we'll move on with the accrual basis of accounting. The question says that during the year ended 31st March 2019, so this is the year ending. That means the year might have started from which date? It might have been started from 1st April 2018 and will end on 31st March 2019 because this is my accounting period. So during this year, Sri Kumar is one of the businessmen who has sold goods for cash rupees 1,80,000 and on credit rupees 1,50,000. What do you mean by on credit? On credit means you have sold goods but you have not yet received the money. So how much revenue you have generated? Revenue generated. See over here, you have only the cash sales because here I have clearly written that credit sales will not be taken into consideration. So your revenue will consist of your cash sales, that is of rupees 1,80,000. Fine. Next line says his expenses were rupees 80,000, out of which 30,000 is not yet paid. The total expenses is of rupees 80,000 and 30,000 you have not yet paid. That means how much expenses have you paid? Expenses paid. 80,000 was the total expense, out of which 30,000 is not yet paid. That means how much have you paid? It is rupees 50,000. So what is the net income? Net income of Sri Kumar for the year ended 31st March 2019 will be rupees 1,30,000. This is your answer as per, because the question has clearly said you have to follow cash basis of accounting. So according to this, we will take into consideration only the cash which we have either received or paid. Anything which we have not yet received will not be taken into consideration. Similarly, anything which we have not yet paid will also not be taken into consideration. Now, we'll see the accrual basis of accounting. This is the second concept of accounting, that is accrual basis of accounting. Children, while studying about the GAAP chapter, we had discussed about the accrual system of accounting, in which all the transactions which are related to one particular accounting year are recorded in the books of accounts. Whether you have received the cash or not, or whether you have paid a cash or not, is not taken into consideration. If a particular transaction is related to one particular period of time or accounting period, we record it in the same accounting year. That means transactions are recorded in the books of accounts whenever they occur. According to this concept, revenue and expenses are recorded in the period in which they become due, rather they are received or paid. For example, according to accrual basis, even the credit sales, credit purchases, outstanding expenses, accrued income and other adjustments will be taken into consideration as they are related to current accounting period. The advantages of this particular concept is that it is more scientific and comprehensive approach because it follows the double entry system. It follows the double entry system and follows the GAAP, as well as it also follows the system of IFRS, which says that all the transactions must be recorded on the accrual basis. It shows a complete picture of financial position. The assets and liabilities which are shown by the balance sheet are true and correct because everything is taken into consideration. Whether you have acquired the asset and whether you have paid or not is not a matter of concern. This system discloses true profit or loss. There are certain disadvantages also, that this system is complicated. It's too cumbersome because you have to incorporate many adjustments. It is too elaborate system, and a quick appraisal of the profit and loss may not be possible because many adjustments have to be made before coming to the conclusion of profit or loss. As per the Companies Act 2013, all companies are supposed to follow accrual basis of accounting. Cash basis is not given legal evidence. We'll take a simple example, the same example which we had solved in the cash basis. I have taken the same example, and then we'll see how to find out the net profit or net income under accrual basis of accounting. First of all, we'll find out the total revenue generated. So how much is the total revenue generated? We have cash sales. Cash sales is of rupees 1,80,000, and there is credit sales also. So in the accrual basis, we will record this also. So my total income is rupees 3,30,000. This is my total revenue. Whereas how much my expenses are? I have paid 80,000, out of which 30,000 is not yet paid. But in the accrual concept, we'll consider this entire 80,000. So expenses are rupees 80,000. So my net income under accrual basis of accounting will be rupees 2,50,000. So children, this was a simple example which I had taken. Now I'll take one more question where I will solve both. From the same question, I will be solving cash basis and accrual basis, so that the concept becomes clearer. This is the third question which I have taken to clear the concept, children. Here the question is, Mohan gives the following information about his income and expenses for the year ended 31st March 2018. The total expenses which have been paid by him during the entire year is rupees 1,60,000. This is the total expense which he has paid. Expenses paid in advance. That means, what do you mean by paid in advance? Paid in advance means an expense which is related to the next year has been paid now itself. So it is included in 1,60,000 is rupees 40,000. So this is the total amount which have been paid in advance. Expenses which have not yet been paid is 20,000. Income which has been received is rupees 2,40,000, out of which income which have been received in advance, that means income of the next year you have received in the current year itself, 30,000, and income not yet received is rupees 24,000. Determine his net income if he adopts cash basis of accounting and accrual basis of accounting. So let us first of all understand cash basis. Under cash basis of accounting, what will happen to him, that we'll see. According to the first, this is the first part of your question. Children, if you remember the previous discussion, I had clearly told you that, what do you mean by cash basis? Cash basis means only those transactions will be recorded which have been actually received or paid. We will not consider anything which has not yet been paid or which has not yet been received. So in this question, how much is the total expense which you have paid? You have paid rupees 1,60,000. No matter whether it is related to the current year or next year. This 40,000 is related to the next year, but we have paid. So this is my total expense. My total expense is 1,60,000. 20,000 I have not yet paid. So it will not be taken into consideration while calculating cash basis. Similarly, for income, how much income have you received? 2,40,000. In this 2,40,000, this 30,000 is also included, which you have received in advance. Since you have already received, so this is my total revenue. This is not yet received. This income is not yet received, so it will not be taken into consideration while considering cash basis of accounting. So while considering cash basis of accounting, how much is the total revenue generated? How much total income is received? You have received 2,40,000. Out of this, 30,000 is related to the next year, but that is not a matter of concern for this particular situation. Minus total expenses which have been paid. How much expenses have been paid by you? 1,60,000. Although it includes 40,000 for the next year, but that is not a matter. We have paid, so we'll consider it as per the cash basis. So how much is my net income? Net income of Mohan will be rupees 80,000 for the year ended 31st March 2018 as per cash basis of accounting. Now, the complex procedure is your accrual basis of accounting. Same question, how are we going to solve by the process of accrual basis of accounting? So for this, children, as I have told you that we will take accrual basis means if any expense or any income is related to the current year, that will be only considered. If anything is related to the next year or the previous year, we will not take into consideration. Anything which is related to the current year, it will be taken into consideration. So first of all, we will calculate A. What is A? That is revenue generated. How much is the total revenue generated as per this question? That we will see. Revenue part is this one. If you can see, it is written that you have received an income of 2,40,000, out of which 30,000 is related to you have received in advance. Received in advance means it is related to the next year, which we have received in the current year. So we will remove this, and this income is not yet received. But if you have not received the income, that means what? It is related to the current year, which you have not yet received. So that will be taken into consideration. So here I will write income received. How much income is received? Rupees 2,40,000. How much income not received? This is also related to the current year. So we will take into consideration 24,000. So total is 2,64,000 and minus income received in advance. You have, this is the income. How much income you have received in advance? 30,000. This is related to the next year which you have received now. So we'll subtract this 30,000. So how much is your net revenue? Your total revenue is 2,34,000. Now we'll take B, that is expenses. How much is the total expense which have been paid by you? So expenses paid. How much expenses have been paid by you? Look at the beginning of your question. It's written expenses which have been paid is rupees 1,60,000. This is the total amount of expense which you have paid. But out of this 1,60,000, 40,000 is the expense which you have paid in advance. Paid in advance means expense of the next year you have paid now. So this is not related to the current year. It is related to the next year. So it has to be subtracted. And this is the expense which is not yet paid. That means this is the expense of the current year, rupees 20,000 which we have not yet paid. So we will add expenses not paid, rupees 20,000, minus expenses paid in advance is rupees 40,000. So we'll subtract this. Our total or net expenses will be rupees 1,40,000. So what will be my net income or net income of Mohan? As per which system? As per accrual system or accrual basis of accounting, will be A minus B. How much is your total revenue? A is your total net revenue generated. This is your net revenue. And what is B? Is your net expenses. So the net revenue generated, you have got how much? 2,34,000. And how much is your net expenses met? Is rupees 1,40,000. So when you subtract, this is your net income. How much? You have to subtract this. So it will be rupees 94,000. 2,34,000 minus 1,90,000. Sorry, 2,34,000 minus 1,40,000. It is 94,000. So this is your net income generated as per accrual basis of accounting. So you can see, the children, in these two concepts how the net income varies. So that is why this system is more appropriate and convenient, and that is why accrual system of accounting is preferred over the cash accounting system. Hope with the help of this you will be able to solve a lot many questions. Please do take care of yourself and please watch the full video. Don't skip it, otherwise you will not be able to understand the concept well. Please like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe Accountancy Point. Thank you.